What's my goal is that as an Expat Insights TV host, my goal is that I'd like the world to see that there are no differences between human beings, cultures. Sizes and shapes might differ.
Sure.
Like you're a big guy and I'm a small guy. Sizes and shapes may differ. Maybe backgrounds differ because of the experiences. But in terms of what our spiritual goals are and what we're putting out into the cosmos, it's almost the same. So maybe I'd like to bring that to the attention of the world. Is that making sense as a coach?
Yeah, very, very much so. And, part of the process is discovering the goal in a coaching process and looking at what's actually happening right now, then looking at what are possible directions you could take, and then deciding on one way forward or multiple ways forward. Now, in terms of your goal, what you just shared, why does that inspire you?
Why does that inspire me?
The reason why I'm asking that is because in the process of really discovering what motivates you, the goal becomes more clear, right? And the way this shows up in the person I'm coaching usually is they get really in touch with their inner self and what connects them to that goal, what lights them up, and it shows up physically. It shows up in their face. And it's like they light up.
Right.
So what is it that lights you up about that?
The fact that I'm able to express, the fact that the processes that are going on inside of me, what I think of world, people, feelings, achievement, success, fulfillment, or even wealth, you know, not tangible wealth, even non-tangible wealth, is that maybe I'm able to express it. I think that fulfills me.
So self-expression.
Self-expression, okay.
And what about that inspires you? What is it about that?
What about self-expression inspires me? What about self-expression inspires me? I seem, when I reflect in the mirror about after having expressed, let's say, after having had a moment of self-expression, when I look at myself in the mirror, I feel happy and I say, okay, Raju, I think you did good. So that, you did good in terms of just being yourself, a better you, just like you mentioned, self-actualization, and then also probably helping another. Because in the process I do help others, one or sometimes more.
And what about that inspires you?
What about inspires me, helping others? As I mentioned, I think that people carry these...
try to access your inner space of what that is.
That's what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Okay. I think, as I mentioned, I see people and I've seen people and I was part of that people, quote unquote people, that we were, most people are in a little darkness about, a little dark, not darkness, but they're in a little shady area about who they are, what they want, and what they want to achieve and what their relationship is towards another. So, I mean, all of us, so I've been through that, and so when I see others, and I think maybe I've seen some light, and I can probably show them that light.
Yeah. And how does it feel when you do that?
Feels great.
Feels great.
Absolutely great. Okay.
You see, and you can see in your eyes now. I can see the power and the sparkle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That when you're present to that, it's really gonna.
Oh, you're making me conscious now. Okay.
Okay. See, that's part of the process. Being conscious of what drives us internally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we're conscious of what drives us, then we can use that to fuel us to move forward.
Okay.
It's like extra horsepower.
Right. Yeah.
When you have access to that.
Okay.
And I just saw that in your eyes.
Okay. So what do you do with it
Really
now?
powerful, right?
What do we do with it now? We capture it.
You capture it and you become conscious. That's a first step.
Okay.
Right. And it serves as fuel on the way forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the next thing we would like to look at is what's your current reality? Where do you see yourself right now compared to where you want to be, like from 0 to 10?
Okay. In terms of this, what I do, my plans are not too huge because it's quite fulfilling as it is, as I mentioned. No, maybe I would like continuance of it, and maybe if there are some blind sides to this creation that I'm bringing about, if there are blind sides to this, if there are any growth areas, I'd like to discover those growth areas and I'd like to fill them up. So for example, maybe I'm not asking you the right questions, yeah, or maybe I'm too intrusive, or maybe I'm just beating about the bush. So if there are any blind sides, I'd like to reduce those blind sides and hopefully eliminate them towards better performance. So maybe that's an area of growth, you think?
Those are all areas of growth. So how would you, so you would say you're about 80% there compared to where you want to be, or?
I would say, yeah, 75 to 80%.
75 to 80%.
On the path to the destination that I see from where I am.
Yes, yes. We all have from our point of view, we all have a certain, what we view as a limit. I call it sometimes our potential. Yeah? And consider that even though, 25% available growth is still quite a bit,
Yeah.
I'd like you to consider that much more is available.
You'd like me to consider that?
Yeah, I invite you to look at the option that even more is possible.
I'm just thinking about that, actually. If you don't mind, can I say something?
Yes.
I saw Manny Pacquiao.
Yes.
About 3 weeks ago on TV.
He inspires me so much.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago I saw him on TV, and he was being interviewed by Diane.
I'd love to interview him. I
saw him being interviewed. Diane Castillo was interviewing him, and she asked him something like this, that what's beyond this for you, Manny? I'm not sure if these were the words. And he said, let's say, he says, I've reached my horizon, and then suddenly my horizon expanded. This is what Mr. Pacquiao, the boxer, the gunfighter Pacquiao.
That's exactly what happens in coaching.
So you think that'll happen to me, that can be achieved for other people?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anytime we reach our boundaries of what we think is possible, when you step onto that edge or that boundary, then you realize that boundary is really not there. It's only self-constructed. It's perceived. It's not real.
Okay.
Yeah? And the only thing that keeps us from stepping over is ourselves.
So what part now? Are you done, finished with me, or do you need to work on me a bit more? Are you done?
No, this is all part of the process.
This is part of it.
Yes.
So, is it my turn to now be the interviewer, or
not yet? Not yet.
Okay.
So next thing we'll look at is, so now we know that you see yourself as 75% there, 75-80% there.
Okay.
Yeah? So to uncover the last 25%, anything that's missing, you see that's missing?
Anything that's missing in my life? Well, most things are here. There are things that I'm missing. There are things that I would like, other aspects of my life, not just my profession, not what I'm personally driving for, because I do realize that I'm connected to family, to love, to children, So there are other aspects that I need to fulfill, and I'd like to see my loved ones grow. I'd like to see my loved ones, as you mentioned, self-actualize. That's the statement, So I'd like to see that, and that would fulfill me.
Fantastic. So is there anything that you can contribute that you're not yet contributing, that would have you achieve the 100%, like that?
What can I do?
Can you do, or who could you be?
What can I contribute? What can I...
What's the beingness?
What's the beingness? I think my beingness is on track. My beingness is that, how am I feeling, right?
So in terms of measure, but what is the beingness? Let's
my
say
beingness is maybe presence. I'm 100% there.
Yes.
As and when I can, and maybe more. So I always stretch to be there.
Okay.
In terms of my authenticity, like who I am inside, who I'm outside. So it's 100% there, or at least from my perspective, it's 100% there.
Good.
In terms of my physical efforts in fulfilling food, clothing, car, home, shelter, I'm working on
it's
that.
all there. Those are physical circumstances.
Right.
But in terms of what you're contributing towards your goal,
towards my
you already mentioned
my
authenticity
personal or the
and presence.
familial.
Right? Those are beingnesses. What's a beingness that you could add? That would make it even better. That would help you leap over the additional 25%.
What more could I do?
No, who more could you be?
Who more could I be?
Yes.
I would just believe that one of the best thing a person can be is a loving person. Yeah, and I am at my utmost at being a loving person.
So is it 100% already?
Well, From where I am, yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Raju, can I give you some straight feedback?
Is this feedback time? Okay. Okay. All right.
Okay. So with all the beingnesses you mentioned, from the self-perception is that you're already at 100%.
Right.
So that means no more improvement possible.
I said from my perspective.
Yes.
But as I approach that horizon, when I reach the finish line of 100%, 99.9, and then maybe I'll see another one. So I'm open to blind sides.
Maybe there's one more you could think of. I invite you to take a look that would help you achieve that extra 25% or maybe even more.
That's in the business side, profession side.
In regards to the goal we talk about. Yeah. Look at it like a soup. You're cooking a soup and it tastes really good, but what could you add that would make the difference? Maybe make it world class.
Maybe some thyme, maybe some Indian masalas.
Maybe some masala. So what would be that masala in terms of a beingness that you can add?
I think maybe a little more energy and enthusiasm.
Ah, very good. So how do you currently see your energy and enthusiasm? How do you currently see it?
It's pretty big. It's pretty huge, and but there is room for improvement.
There's room for improvement. Okay, good. So if you added this energy and enthusiasm to the soup, right? How long, if you look forward, right? There's a certain future that we can almost predict. It's not 100% certain, but we can almost predict. If you added that, right? How long would it take you to get to 100%?
How long will it take me to get to 100%?
Yes.
If I added that, when will the soup be really good? How long do I have to brew it after I put in the thyme and
assume it's really,
maybe another 6 months.
Another 6 months?
Yeah.
Okay, is that fast enough for you?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. You're happy with that?
No, I'm great with that.
Okay, I can see it in your face.
Okay.
Fantastic work. Really good work so far, huh?
Okay.
Good. So how can you bring energy and enthusiasm into your life?
Get fit, physically fit.
Okay.
Because if I'm physically fit, then I can give more of myself.
Yes.
That's one.
Yes. What
That's
else?
one. Maybe take time out.
Take time out. Okay.
Take time out from. Well, I don't do wasteful things in life.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV. Anything that absorbs me, I don't.
Okay.
As long as I'm in control. I'm not control as in like obsessive control. As long as I see it to be fruitful, I participate in it. I don't participate in anything non-fruitful.
Okay.
So
what else could you do to bring energy and enthusiasm
physical
into your
fitness,
life?
maybe extend my life and be around until my environment and my ecology needs me. Be around for that much longer.
So I have a question for you. Huh?
Yeah.
So reality checks are very important in the coaching process.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I have a reality check. I've got 2 minutes before I take a break.
From 0 to 10, how energetic and enthusiastic are you right now?
I'm now 8.95.
Okay, and how would you sit if you were a 10?
Take a deep breath and sit up.
That's right.
Okay.
And how long did it take you to make that shift?
Half a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, you got your answer.
Take a leap. Is that what it's saying? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Great job. So that's a coaching session?
That was the beginning of one.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, that's the beginning of one. The next step would then look at what's the way forward? What structures could you put in place such that stays in existence and continues to stay in existence, maybe even grows?
Fantastic. Fantastic, Bjorn. Fantastic, Coach Bjorn. Coach Bjorn, we'll take a break. Now, what I'd like to do, I'd like to thank you for what you just did.
You're welcome.
And I hope people see it and enjoy it and then know what a great coach you are. World's #1 coach. What I'd like to do is, after the break, I'd like to come back and ask you about the business side of coaching.
Sure.
Yeah? Like, how much does this cost? That's #1. And then what do you do with it? And how do people find you? How do people find other coaches and stuff? So shall we stay open for those questions?
Absolutely.
So ladies and gentlemen, stay in. We are still with the world's #1 executive coach, Bjorn Martinoff, and you are at Expat Insights. Hang in there.